home. You probably had to save for quite a while before you'd got that deposit. Perhaps you've never, though, actually reached that point if you've been renting. Either way, getting onto the housing ladder, that first rung of the property ladder, has always been a bit of a challenge. So today, Nottinghamshire County Council is joining forces with a high street bank to effectively offer a 95% mortgage. Well, in a moment, you're going to hear from Councillor Reg Adair on how the whole thing will work. First, though, Hannah Bowden, who's from Arnold. Hello, Hannah. Morning to you.
Morning.
Now, you've already been through this process with a similar scheme run by Gedling Borough Council, haven't you? So how did it work? What happened?
Well, we went into our local high street bank, Lloyds TSB, and looking for mortgages. Everywhere else said that we had to have a 10% deposit. Now, to try and get £9,000, £10,000 was really difficult for us. So we had 5%, so we thought, we can go in here. And they said, if one of you is a first-time buyer and you're working and your credit history is up to scratch, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to apply for a 95% mortgage under this scheme.
So that's what you did, is it?
Yeah.
Right. And so it really was the difference for you between getting your own house and not getting your own house?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, my husband had a flat under a shared equity scheme, but I was the first-time buyer in this case, and we wouldn't have been able to get a mortgage. We wouldn't have been able to find 10% or 20% that a lot of the high street banks were asking for. So this really made a difference to us.
Now, the sort of 90% mortgages which are offered by high street banks are obviously the deals that you often are offered are a lot worse than if it was a 75% mortgage, aren't they? So what kind of deal did you get?
Oh, fantastic deal. It's a lot cheaper than the local rent. I mean, local rent in Arnold, I'd say, is between sort of £550 per calendar month to, over £600. We're paying about £413, a month for our house, 3-bedroom house in Arnold, which, gives us more money in our pockets to spend in local shops and pay for my son, who's only 2.
Yeah. Were there any problems along the way, or was it all smooth?
Absolutely no problems. I mean, just with the general buying and selling of houses, there was a few teething problems with more local issues, but not with the mortgage. The mortgage, from our point of view, the mortgage actually went really well.
Do you feel more responsibility on the basis that there's public money tied up in your loan?
I mean, I do think about that, but I've paid tax and my husband's paid tax on his job. We both work since we were 16. I mean, we're in our mid-20s now, and we pay tax. We've never really claimed any other benefits. So this was just a way of helping someone like us out. We're a young couple. We're married. We have a child who's nearly 2. So I think it really helped us.
Hannah, thank you for telling us the story. Hannah Bowden from Arnold on BBC Radio Nottingham. Well, Reg Adair's here from Nottinghamshire County Council, and it is a similar scheme that you're going to be offering. The same idea, really, isn't it?
Yes, good morning. Yeah, Hannah's explanation of it is actually ideal, because that's the actual sort of people that we want to help and to help to support to get their first house. I mean, there's a lot of first-time buyers out there, as she said, can't get the deposit together that they really require in normal terms. We can assist them in doing that. If they've got 5% of the deposit of the house that they want to buy, up to £150,000, and they've got all the other criteria for credit liabilities, go along, and as she said, to Lloyds TSB with your application. They'll merit rate you all the way through and say that you meet the criteria, and if you meet all the criteria that they want, and you got the property you want to buy and you can afford it, then you are the ideal person that we really want to help to get onto the housing ladder as a first-time buyer.
So all you as the county council have to do is pick up the bill. So
no, we don't pick up any bill at all. All we do is identify the difference in the deposit. Depending on the deposit the person has got, up to 25%, we identify that money for 5 years, and it's at very, very little risk to the county council. We get a better interest rate than we can get on the market for it today, because we do get interest on it through the mortgage scheme, and we're helping with the 15 million we put behind it at the moment. That could help 500-600 young buyers to get onto the housing and help the economy in the process.
I just want to be clear about this. You physically do not hand over any money.
We physically hand over no money whatsoever from the county council. What we do is we indemnify the difference. Now it depends whether the person's got 5, 10 or 15% and they haven't got the 20% that the mortgage lender needs from them, and they get a lower interest rate as well, so we're helping them out in that way. So the whole scheme benefits, and I think Hannah's explanation of how she was helped, that could help 5 or 6 or 700 families up and down Nottinghamshire.
And if one of those families that's got one of these houses, one of them loses their job, or they both lose their job and they can't pay their mortgage, and that house is repossessed, and that loan is called in, that's where you lose money, though, isn't it?
There's a potential there, but it's a very, very small potential, and the risk of that, because as we know today, there's the housing market is in a buyer's market, so the value of properties are not going to slip that much. And if the mortgage lender takes all the risk, we take a very, very small part of that risk, should that happen. And, I mean, let's face it, that happens very, very irregularly.
If it's such a good deal for the council, as you say, you're getting a better interest rate, why would you not offer it for more people? Why would you not?
Well, we have to have the cash.
You've got a limit of £150,000, haven't you?
We've put 15 million behind it, and we put the lid, because I think that helps more and more people. And throughout the county, if you look at right throughout the county, I mean, you can buy first-time buyers. The only expensive place is West Bridgeford. Everywhere else, they can buy between 130 and £100,000 houses. They are for starter homes. They are for first-time buyers. The more people we can help, the better.
And you say you've put £15 million aside. That's just in case.
That's in our reserve. No, 15 million's there to use as the indemnity. We have to have.
That's what I mean. It's just in case.
Yeah, it's there in the background.
We probably won't have to hand it over unless all of a sudden all these mortgages collapse.
We will not have to hand that money over. If we have to hand over 0.01% of it and the pack of the whole scheme, I'll be actually surprised.
Councillor Reg Adair on BBC Radio Nottingham from Nottinghamshire County Council. 17 minutes past 8 now.
That's it. Oh, you've heard it, love. What do you think?
You did really well, Hannah.
What do you think, Stephanie?
And I think more people should go for it into the payment.
Yeah.
But remember, that house was a fairly inexpensive house.
But we got the deal.
It's still going to be better than renting.
Yes, it is. Okay. Well done, Hannah. Well done.
Who's been chosen to inspire school children across the region. Today's weather forecast, it is going to be a cloudy day in Nottinghamshire today with light rain or drizzle at times, although some places will stay dry. The cold northeast